Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV, and I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend. The legend, Bernard Dinning. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, the myth and the legend. Yeah, I think that's probably about right, mate. Yeah, just pronounced. Oh, I'm wonderful, mate. Just enjoying the sun before I fly off to the sun very soon. So we're doing this. Hopefully, I'll be in the sun when it comes out onto your to your guys.
Oh, hopefully it'll come out tonight, mate. But the funny thing is it's going to be hotter in Manchester, I think, than it is wherever you're going, mate.
Well, it wasn't today. It's just 2 degrees less in Manchester, but we'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take it. It's nice. And hey, just remember, it's sunny every day in Manchester when Manchester City are winning. Right, guys, we're in the international break. We're top of the table. I don't think we're going to forget that quickly. We've had results-wise, a good start to the season, better than normal. I think the last time we had a start this good was probably Pep's first season, where we won 10 on the bounce and then we struggled after that. But hey, the less said about that, the better. Today we're here to talk about the transfer business we've done in the summer. Ask the question. Sorry, I've got a bit of dodgy internet because I'm using my phone because it's better than the hotel's Wi-Fi. And to ask ourselves the important question, are we better this season with the players we've got, with the squad we've got, than last season? So you might have ideas, are we better or not? Okay, let's go through the guys who've extended contracts. Okay, Bernardo Silva, he's extended his contract. He didn't leave. A lot of people thought he might. Yes, he's extended it by 1 year. Yes, he's probably got a release clause of about 50 million quid in. And yes, in my opinion, I think he's going next summer. But he extended, he's still here. Who else? Walker, he's just extending at the moment. So it looked like he was going. Bayern Munich fluttered their eyelashes at him. And Kyle Walker was tempted. He was almost there. He agreed terms. Everything was done. And then he went out for this meal with Pep. And over the candles, Pep
sushi, wasn't it? Was it a sushi meal or something?
Sushi meal. Yeah,
I would have said I'm going after that, to be honest with you.
But this candlelit dinner and over the everything else, Pep managed to persuade and cajole Kyle Walker to stay. He showed him that he was still wanted, still important to City. And there's talk of him signing, was it a 3-year deal? Wow, that's fantastic. But Kyle Walker's staying. Rico Lewis, young superstar coming through. He's staying. That's great news for City. He is the future. And Nathan Ake, he signed an extension. He's on a 5-year deal now. And I think we're all very pleased with those extensions. Everything sounds really good with those guys. The incomings we've had, Kovacic, we'll talk about him. Kovacic has come in from Chelsea. He looks like a bargain. We had Guardiola. He's come in. He looks more than competent. We had Jeremy Doku. He's only played 1 game, so we don't really know about him yet. So he's come in. And we have had another major signing, Mateus Nunes, towards the end of the window, who we haven't seen play. So those are the incomings and the guys who have stayed. The major outgoings have been Aymeric Laporte, who's gone off to Saudi. Riyad Mahrez, which was a surprise. He's gone off to Saudi. And obviously Gundogan, who we kind of guessed months and months and months ago, probably last year, if he's not signing a new contract, he's going. And lo and behold, he's left. The other big one, and I'll mention it because Bernard talked to me about it, it's Cole Palmer. Now, you could say he's a bit part player, and he is. 14 league appearances last season. That's not starts, that's appearances. Kind of proves that. But the money we got, fantastic. The money we got from selling our players, 40 million, for selling the kids and the Romeo Lavia sell-on clause is about 95 to 100 million pounds. Adding Laporte and Mahrez, we probably got in somewhere in the region of 55 to 160 million quid. It's fantastic. The money we spent was about 210 million quid. So it's I think financially speaking, it's been a pretty decent summer transfer window. So I'm going to come to you first, Bernard, and ask you, what do you think, looking at the players who have gone, the major players, looking at the players who have come, do you think it's been a good window for City?
Yeah, because I think the only negative is KDB. That's nothing to do with it, is it? That's nothing to do with the window. That's just an injury. What I'm more intrigued by is the actual mental state of the guys we've got left now and the guys that have gone. Obviously, Laporte wasn't happy. I'm not saying he was bringing the whole side down or the squad down or anything like that, but you've lost a guy who obviously wanted more time. He's obviously going to show it in certain ways, even though he knuckled down. He did the business when he had to. When he was picked, he was fantastic. With nothing against Laporte at all, but you're taking players like that out of the equation.
And Cancelo. Same thing
again. So that's more for me. The fact that that's happened means it's been so far right. We don't know what Doku's going to do. We don't know what Nunes is going to do. Or do you pronounce it Nunes? Is it Nunes? Is that how you pronounce it?
Let's go with Nunes.
Yeah, Nunes. So we don't know what them two are going to do, but obviously we know with Gvardiol and Kovacic, we've already seen 4 games in. We've seen that they're going to sort of hit the ground running. I think. I don't think there's going to be any year settling in period for them. Certainly not Kovacic. He's proved it already, hasn't he, in the 7 or 8 games, including the friendlies. So on the positive side, everything's right. And on the positive side of the people leaving, there's 1 or 2 there, as you mentioned, Cancelo and Laporte. And Mahrez, to some extent, I don't know. I mean, he's not a bundle of laughs, is he? I mean, I'm not being a bit cruel. He's not a joker in the pack, is he, Mahrez?
No.
And of course, Gundogan's seems a nice lad, but he's a bit serious sometimes, isn't he? I think he's got his head screwed on. He's seems to have brought some younger players. Nunes looks quite happy, smiley. He's got some big teeth going on there. I've noticed when I've seen the pictures of him, and it all bodes well. From that point of view, there's a few question marks. As I said, Nunes and Doku, we've got to see how they fit in. But I think that's great. It's not just the fact that any weaker as far as people who can play the game, because I thought Palmer might stay, and if Pep wanted to play the games, use him the sort of Mahrez role, that sort of role, that's what he's going to do with him. And obviously, he's probably had second thoughts about that now with the way things have progressed with with the guys that have come in. So I think that's why he left. I don't think Pep thought a month ago particularly that Palmer would go, but I think obviously it came to a head on his purchases and how he's going to play and how he's going to set up. So, not just that. I think we've improved, and I think we've improved with the guys who've gone. Not that I don't hold anything against them. I think Laporte, I love Laporte to bits, but I think it'll help mentally as well. I think it's a lift. That's a lift for us as well. I know it sounds horrible, players going being a lift, but I think it is because you've probably got a bunch of players now who are up for it.
I think that's a great point. I'd overlooked that. It was a fantastic point. The fact that, Laporte, he started, was it 11 league games last season? And he came on a sub in 1. That's it. And I guess those 11 he started when near the beginning of the season when Stonesy was injured or somebody else was injured, that gave him a chance, or Diaz was out. So he's probably... He might not want to show it, but you got to be disappointed. You've got to be more
human. It's only human nature.
Yeah. Look, I tell you what, when I was 12 years old, I didn't get picked for the first team in cricket. I was crying. Okay, that's stupid teaching. Didn't know anybody from anybody else. But not that I was any good, but I was still better than the plonkers he picked. But so that's important. I mentioned Cancelo because obviously he's gone to Barcelona on loan. And he was miserable, and he was like, there was rumours of him, having a go at Pep and whatever. Obviously, he went to Bayern on loan. He weren't good enough there, and he's come back. But he's been unhappy, okay? So to get rid of him. Bernardo, there's always been rumbling.
We could have had a problem with Palmer, couldn't we? We could have had, he wasn't getting. He could have added to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'm going to say Bernardo. Now, there's always been these rumours about him wanting to leave. They've been quashed now. No one's except me. No one's talking about Bernardo leaving anymore because he's got this contract extension. We both know. I'm pretty sure
he's happy now because he knows where he's going. So he's happy.
Exactly. He's happy. He knows he's going to move on next summer. The money's there, because the money's going to be right. Because City have said to him, "Stay on, please, work hard, be a professional," which he has been, and we'll reward you in effect by charging about 30 million quid less than we should do for you, that will hopefully enable him to get the move that he wants. So that's a top point there, that the mentality, we've got guys who want to do it. The fact that Kyle Walker was tempted he'd agreed the terms. City had agreed the money as well at 15 million with Bayern, and it was all done and dusted. And then he's been brought back into the fold. So he's not come back just to bide his time, just to see out his career.
First thing he does is push the guys to say, right, let's go and try and do an 18-19, whatever season it was, where we walked away with it. And that's the first thing he said, and that's a positive. Yeah. Might be arrogant. People might say it's arrogance, but it's just saying, look, let's go for this early doors and make it count.
Everybody's got to kick up the backside. Everybody. You see people like Haaland, he wants to do better than last year. Alvarez wants to do better. Everybody is gunning for the same thing. The only negative or dissenting little bit was Rodri saying, I'm playing too much. That was it.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that we got Kovacic, I think the fact that Phillips did come on in the last game for a few minutes, and he didn't look terrible, that gives us hope that we'll go forward. And I think when we look at like for like, Laporte's gone, Gvardiol is an upgrade. I don't think there's any question about that. Mahrez has gone. He wasn't in the first team anyway at the end of the season, last 3 or 4 months. And Doku, look, it's going to, at the start, it's going to be a downgrade because obviously we don't know what Doku's going to do. Kovacic for Gundogan. We're going to miss Gundogan. I don't think there's any question about that. Kovacic is a different kind of player. But I think at the moment, we're not missing Gundogan because we're winning. As soon as Kovacic has a bad pass, it costs us a goal.
As soon as we need someone to create or score when we're not quite firing, perhaps that's when we'll miss him a bit much.
Yeah, but it feels we Cancelo doesn't matter because he wasn't here for the last 6 months. We've got Nunez as well. It feels like we've got a stronger squad. I think the strength of that is going to be how Kovacic covers the gap, the big gaping black hole that Gundogan's left, but. You've got to. It doesn't mean we're going to win the title. It doesn't mean we're going to run away with it. But I think on paper and what we've seen so far, we've got a stronger first team, just a little bit, and a much stronger squad. Even though it's still a bit thin, a bit small, we've got a much stronger team and squad.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Can't disagree. I think that's. I think most people said Cheeky's done the business, and City have done the business. We've not always done it. We've gone from a position of strength and thinking, well, we're probably a player or two short here. But of course, we would like another player or two. But hey, we're well within FFP, I believe. I don't think there's any problems coming for us in the future on that basis. And net spend's nice, so a lot of clubs rely on that, don't they? So let's be happy.
Let's hit them. So, guys, there you have it. We both are very happy with the transfer business we've done over the summer, and I think we both believe overall the squad is a little bit stronger, and quite possibly that first team is a little bit stronger. What that caveat over how Gundogan Hall is covered for, but hey, you can't argue. We played 4, we've won 4. We'll see very soon after the international break when we've got West Ham. We have Newcastle in September in the Carabao Cup. Then we have Arsenal beginning of October or something. So important big games, thick and fast. And we'll see, obviously, within a few weeks, whether our optimism, our confidence is grounded in.
Christmas time, we'll be crying.
I hope not. Bernard, my friend, thank you so much for joining us. And guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around Blues.